So, what was the purpose behind this?
Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
I really love it how it is that the horn is honking in the background while he's talking. I just think it's absolutely hilarious. Before I get started on this, I want you guys to go ahead and know right now that we are going to be talking about obviously what happened in the courtroom. Obviously, well, not the courtroom, but at the courthouse. But I'm going to be mostly spending a lot of time going over the purpose behind this little ordeal. And also at the very end, I'm going to tell you exactly how desperate and how weak it looks. Because in reality, nobody really truly cares about this particular trial. But let's get into it. I really love how it is that the Democratic Party and their surrogates, that right there being surrogates for Joe Biden, decided to go to the Southern District of Manhattan, the courthouse there, to give a speech after what's supposed to be a verdict that's coming in over the Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen situation, which, by the way, right now they're saying that the Secret Service is talking to the NYPD and the jail and all that stuff about possibly putting him inside the jail or what they're going to do. Either way, it's going to be kind of wonky, especially given the fact that the Supreme Court right now is looking at a couple other cases involving Trump, especially the immunity case. And also to go on top of this, you've also got the case down in Georgia where it pretty much got tossed out. And of course, to go on top of this right here, it doesn't look like the 6-1 case, to say it that way, because the algorithm is going to make it to the courtroom anytime soon. Probably after the election. But of course, they're putting all their hopes on this Stormy Daniels thing. And of course, a lot of very, very interesting things have came out as a result of this trial, which actually paints the prosecution in an extremely negative light. I'm going to leave these videos right here in the description box and these links right here to actually better explaining. I'm not the best person in the world at explaining legal topics. I do have a paralegal degree, but that does not mean that I'm a lawyer or a legal analyst. Still, at the same time, you got to ask yourself a question. What was the point behind sending an aging actor who's about to be 80 years old, who, by the way, is Trump deranged, who, for whatever reason, on an 80-some-odd degree day in New York, decided to wear a mask and a coat while going out there, basically showing that he's not only Trump deranged, but he's also COVID deranged as well, even though we haven't really dealt with that for the past 4 years. It seems to me like this entire situation actually makes the current regime look a lot worse than what it really and truly is. But before we talk about that, let's play a little montage of this.
I mean, this is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy. And this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this. But he's just, he wants to sow total chaos, which he's succeeding in some areas and places to do. Anyway, beside all that, this is my neighborhood, downtown New York City. I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. This is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this, but he's just, for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath.
Right.
Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. You gotta, I don't know, I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
Really quick. There's a lot to discuss based upon what you guys just saw. And of course, you're also seeing people surrounding Mr. De Niro, who we've talked about before. And by the way, I do want to go ahead and give you guys a bit of a heads up, because on Thursday, we're going to be talking about TDS, and we're going to be talking about it again on Friday. I'm going to be talking about De Niro again, and I'm also going to be talking not only about De Niro, but also Stephen King, and I'm also going to be talking about a member of the PBD podcast, and just kind of talk about it, because it is a bit of a series, and I can explain to you guys how exactly to handle it. But let's talk about this issue right here, which of course is a bunch of Biden surrogates going out to have a conversation about the former president who they're running against, the Republican nominee, and they're also telling you that while they're doing this, that they're not the ones in charge of this case. It's not their DOJ that did not bring this about, even though this particular case here was a case that was rejected by the federal government. It was actually rejected by the Federal Elections Commission. It was actually rejected by all these people, but of course the District Attorney of New York, Alvin Bragg, is looking to make a name for himself, and obviously the other cases have not gone very well. The truth is this right here. This Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen situation is something that, quite frankly, nobody gives a crap about. It first popped up back in 2017, and of course I explained in my video why Hispanics are turning to Trump, which, by the way, you guys can go check out. I'll probably leave in the description box. I explained that a lot of Hispanics are turning to Donald Trump, and one of the things that they keep saying is, what's the actual crime? This particular case, by the way, was a case that's 2 years outside the state statute of limitations. And if you've been paying attention to the case and you find out that Michael Cohen's own attorney said that Michael Cohen himself said he did not have anything on Trump, and it's also been revealed that Cohen himself may have actually stolen from the Trump organization, it doesn't exactly look good for the prosecution. And given the mainstream media's reactions to all this, the negative reactions to all this, it looks to me like this right here may have been another nothing burger that they sold their audience. You got to wonder after a while, how much longer is it going to be before people realize that the mainstream media is, in fact, the enemy of the people? Sending out 80-year-old corroded Trump deranged actors is not going to help the situation out, especially given what you guys heard there. You got people saying F you. You got people calling out the police officer who testified in the 6-1 and the other one saying they lied under oath. The fact of the matter is that these people have kind of lost the plot and they've kind of lost their own support base. But why are they actually doing this? Why are they really doing this? Well, it's kind of what I said before a long time ago. This whole thing is nothing more than a charade to drain Donald Trump of campaign funds. There is this Politico article that came out basically saying that the Democrats are freaking out about Biden. And of course, this article goes through exactly their strategy. I would read the whole article for you, but instead I'm going to be placing this video from Real American Politics in the description box. And of course, this little episode of Timcast News in the description box as well, because obviously some of this stuff is pulled from there as well, as far as clips is concerned. The thing is this right here. The Democratic Party at this moment in time, they don't really have anything to run on. So obviously they're going to run an extremely negative campaign. Back in 2012, Obama, that was his goal when he was going to face whatever Republican nominee there was, because Obama had just sustained an extremely massive defeat in the 2010 midterms. And of course, the American people, they did not exactly approve of him or approve of his whining or approve of him constantly blaming the Bush administration for all his failures. So what he chose to do was he chose to run an extremely negative campaign against what would turn out to be an extremely weak GOP candidate in Mitt Romney. They're basically doing the exact same strategy, but there's some problems here. It's not going to work, and I'll talk about that in this video as well. The point is this right here, though. When Obama was running for re-election, he did have a few things in his favor. Number one, he was charismatic and a very, very good speaker. My God, I hate admitting that. Number two, they had just killed bin Laden. And number three, sneakily and, of course, shadily, they chose to pull the troops out of Iraq right before the election, just for election purposes. And most of us kind of knew what that was. They also, at the exact same time, got the price of gas lower right before the election, too. And Republican or Republican base, they weren't exactly keen on Romney itself. They didn't actually get out there and vote. However, you're facing somebody in Trump who knows how to actually combat this and also at the exact same time knows how to attack this. And of course, has a much, much larger built-in base. It's going to be much, much harder to win. So what do? You tell your Department of Justice and you bring in Fonnie Willis and all these other crazy people to talk about the case in Georgia. We're going to go after that phone call where he says, find me the votes, which of course they've already dropped that part of that charge. Oh, wait, that's right. We're going to go after him over the Stormy Daniels situation, a person that, quite frankly, is a porn star and screws on camera for money. So most people look at that and think, well, he just paid for a literal whore. Now, of course, some people are looking at it saying, well, his wife at the time, Melania Trump, was pregnant with his son, Barron. And, of course, to go on top of that, that would be, quite frankly, pretty daggone jacked up. But it's starting to look like the things that came out in this case may indicate Trump may never have even slept with Miss Daniels. It's wild the amount of stuff that's actually came out over the course of this case. And we're also going to go after him over 6-1. Meanwhile, his immunity, of course, is right now sitting inside the Supreme Court. And also to go on top of that, these cases are not working. So they've been designed to do one thing and one thing only. They've been designed to drain him of his campaign resources, of which, by the way, Trump just had a better fundraising month than Joe Biden. And now Biden has got to rely on the Clintons at this next fundraiser. They're losing at every single angle. And something else, too, that needs to be said before I go any further is this here. Even if you get Trump inside of a jail cell, if he volunteers, I don't think he will, because the truth be told is he's got the Secret Service. The Secret Service would just put him at Trump Tower for the next week or so before he goes back on the campaign trail, which I also find funny, too, because even liberal commentators are saying, hey, look, maybe it wasn't a good idea to keep him off the campaign trail, because that's kind of where he says is wackiest crap that we can go after him on. And now you've got bumbling, fumbling Biden who can't put two words together. The people see this, and of course the people say, I'm not voting for this guy here. We're going to stay the hell home. And then what makes matters worse is that you send Robert De Niro out, an actor who, quite frankly, is losing all of his own support, which is the real reason why he's so Trump deranged, because this advent of social media kind of exposed him for what he really truly was. It doesn't make you look any better or worth voting for. That right there is the real truth of it. We could talk about victimhood coalition. We could talk about all that there. Of course, I'll talk a little bit about that in tomorrow's video that comes out after this one right here on Democrats' lack of self-reflection. I'll talk more about that tomorrow in that video there. But I did talk about the guy who has the beanie. Let me show you exactly how incompetent these people really truly are.
More evidence that all of these BS cases were quarterbacked by Team Biden to interfere in the 2024 election. The Biden campaign is now showing up in NYC to explicitly cheerlead the political prosecution of my father. I completely agree. I don't understand what they thought the message would be in coming to a local criminal affair and talking about the election. Unless this was the plan the whole time.
Okay, so Don Jr. put that tweet out, and we all know that this was a coordinated effort to drain Donald Trump of his campaign funds. Even the John Carroll situation was an attempt to drain him his funds. Go back to the situation with Letitia James. Trump owed, I think it was right around over $200 billion. Yeah, he owed over $400 million to get the last situation on appeal, the business fraud case. The city of New York accepted only $190 million. Obviously, it's a cash grab. But then you get this situation like what you have now where they say, well, it's not coordinated, even though you've got Biden surrogates and now De Niro out there running their mouth about the situation. And yet you're telling me it's not coordinated? It's pretty daggone coordinated. And something else, too, that should kind of tell you exactly how incompetent these people are, which I'm going to hit on now and then hit on again after this next clip. They got the actual date wrong for the press conference. I'm recording this video right now at this moment in time on May the 28th. This video will be released on May the 29th. All right? They have the press conference listed Tuesday, May the 27th. May the 27th was Monday. May the 27th was Memorial Day. May 25th was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. But let's look at some more of this.
Greg Price tweets out, everything about what the Biden campaign did this morning was absolutely hilarious. They decided it would be a great idea to show that Biden isn't involved in prosecuting his political opponent by having a press conference outside the courtroom where they also got the date wrong on their media advisory. That's true. They did. Wow. Their special guests were lunatic actor Robert De Niro wearing a mask on an 80-degree spring day 4 years after COVID. One unhinged Capitol police officer who lied about everything that happened to him on J6. And another one, best known for hitting on 20-year-old girls at DC bars. They spent the whole thing getting drowned out by Trump supporters yelling FJB. And they had to answer questions such as, is Trump a threat to all these wars Biden has gotten us in? Overall, 10-10 morning. All right, so I got a video clip for you. I think I got a...
The sheer level of incompetence out of these people. Yeah, Tim had another segment in this where he was talking about the price of everything going through the roof, and Fox News releasing a poll showing that the number one problem that people were having right now was inflation, the price of food, the price of gas. By the way, the price of gas has gone down a little bit, but the price of food is still high. This type of situation is not going to work, okay? And there's something else, too, that needs to be said. Going back to Obama's re-election campaign about changing the economy or getting the economy to look better up for it, one of the things they did was they manipulated it by the price of gas. But the problem is this right here. At that time there, the price of gas was right around $2.90, $2.85 a gallon, and it lowered down to like $2.40 a gallon. The price of gas under Trump was like $1.80, in some cases lower than that. Of course, you could see a fixed price when he gets back in office, but also something else, too, that needs to be said, is at that time frame there, obviously, you know, the price of gas. But under the Biden administration, the price of gas has been as high as $5 and $6. They're trying to get it back down to $3. You kind of see what I'm saying, that even when these people think that they're smart and they're sneaky or whatnot, they actually show themselves to be utterly stupid. Which brings me back to the whole Memorial Day thing. These people hate the United States. So we can go through all the tweets that Ilhan Omar and people like that put out that were so out of touch, or Kamala Harris is have a nice long weekend, when obviously the weekend we need to be thinking about those who actually fought and died for this nation. We could be going through all that, but that right there would just be petty at this point in time, given these people's history. But this right here should tell you exactly how out of touch these people really and truly are when they bring up the fact that they don't even know what day Memorial Day is. Fascinating stuff, but let's watch some more of this.
To Robert De Niro.
Thank you. I mean, this is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy, and this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this.
Okay, here we go. That was the same one. I got it right here. This is it from Julio Rosas.
We don't have a choice. On January 6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump.
Yeah, I'm not going to play that car horn. Let's jump forward. You got to hear the car horn, ladies and gentlemen, but it's funny. Oh, it's giving me the business. You got to love X. You got to love X here. We'll jump ahead.
These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath.
Right.
Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend.
Oh, this poor old man doesn't even know anything about what is going on in this world, and it is painful.
I said at the very beginning of the video that nobody really and truly cared about this trial. I mean, because nobody really and truly does. And of course, you're out here making a great big giant bugaboo, making a mountain out of a molehill over something nobody cares about. I mean, it makes you and those who dislike the guy look deranged. And you're probably wondering why it is that so many anti-COVID voters, meaning those who voted for Biden because they thought it was the right thing at the time, given the current circumstances with the country and lockdowns, you're probably wondering why it is that they're flipping to Trump, including Hispanics too. I mean, I talked about this in my video about why it was the Hispanics are embracing Trump. I mean, it looks like a great big giant witch hunt. And of course, it also looks like a great big giant kangaroo court. And it's over a case that, quite frankly, nobody cares about. I mean, imagine what happens when they say we put him in a jail cell, which, by the way, Trump will probably try to go into for the publicity. He'll have the Secret Service there with him. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to be around general population or anything like that. And he'll probably be out in a day or two. I mean, the only thing you did was just turn this guy into Tupac. But then again, though, these right here are old, corroded liberals, so what the hell do you expect? Makes you wonder what Trump's got on these people. Out of touch? Yes, definitely. De Niro is out of touch. But there's something I want to go ahead and say real quick before I actually close this video down. It seems to me that these actors only choose to, run their mouth when they need a movie role. Interesting stuff. By the way, I did say before that we're going to talk about De Niro again on Thursday. And Stephen King, too, because these right here are people who are severely Trump deranged. And then on Friday, I may actually do it again on Thursday. Depends on how the flow goes. I'll probably talk about another individual. But I'm also going to be spending a lot of time talking about that going forward because obviously it's something that we're going to have to deal with during the campaign season. I thought the backlash towards De Niro was absolutely hilarious, especially given all the horns that are going off in the background while he was trying to talk. While he was sitting there calling anybody and everybody who disagreed with him basically a scumbag. I have no idea what to do with you, my friend. Which, stuff like that. And of course, people would probably think it's Robert De Niro. He's an actor, he's a famous actor. We should be fawning over him. The truth be told is the celebrity endorsement has never had the power that people think that it has. It just doesn't. But it also makes me wonder exactly what it is that Trump had on these people. And of course, that right there will be coming up in my video on Trump derangement syndrome because it's kind of a series coming up. I already did one video on this topic. It kind of makes you wonder exactly what he's got on these people, seeing how it was that they were all a part of the same club at one time. The fact of the matter is that this situation right here just makes Democrats look extremely desperate. These people, by the way, that are telling you that they're not involved in these court cases, now do a press conference at the court case with surrogates and everything. Not exactly a smart move. Just saying. But you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have got to say about this. With that right there being said, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share the video. There'll actually be 2 videos out on Wednesday. One of them, of course, is going to be about the Democrats' self-reflection problem. And, of course, the posting this week, because it's a bit of a short week, is going to be a little bit wonky. But I'm going to try to throw as much videos as I can out there, at least until Sunday. And, of course, I'm going to be out of town again one more day, at least one more day next week. So, it's like I said, you got to bear with me for that. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. I'll see you guys later.